Charles.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, sir?
Wonderful, and you?
Fantastic. So walk me through getting a short notice fight against an opponent that a lot of people consider to be a future title challenger in a few years.
Yeah, he's one of the biggest prospects in the UFC, and that was a very courageous decision. But I'm more scared of, let's say, guys with 30 fights and like 8 losses, because these guys are still fighting even though they went through hardships. So seeing an undefeated guy, I was this undefeated top prospect coming into the UFC as well. So yeah, people think it's very dangerous. It is, but yeah, I got more experience now, and I'm willing to take that challenge. I was actually surprised nobody got in line for that fight. Like, Topuria is a very fun fight to watch, fun fighter to fight. So I was surprised they said yes to me. I was like, I'm going to throw my name in there, and I hope they choose me. But yeah, they did, so I'm happy.
You kind of touched on the undefeated record, and
yes.
I spoke with Paul Craig a few months ago when he was fighting Jamal Hill, who was also at the time undefeated, and Paul Craig said it's really dangerous to be an undefeated prospect coming into the UFC. You haven't tasted defeat yet. Are you in that same boat?
I truly believe defeat can make you a lot stronger, and I've faced defeat against Rosa. It was the first time I got finished. I got caught into a choke in the late third round, and man, it changed me. The way I performed my last fight after that defeat, it proved that defeats really makes you stronger, makes you work on your character, and makes you, now I got a saying is, if you're not ready to die, you won't be ready to kill. And I was not ready to die. I was not ready to accept defeat. Now I've accepted both outcomes before the fight. I accepted that I might lose, and I accepted that I might win. So I accepted both sides of the outcome.
His big phrase that he uses are, there's levels to this, and
yes.
He's on a different level than you. So have you been impressed with what you've seen from him inside the octagon?
Oh yeah, of course. He's been. He came from a wrestler 135er to this big muscular 145er throwing hands, and no, he's impressive. He's impressive. But if he doesn't acknowledge me as a worthy opponent, it's his problem, not mine.
Coming into the UFC, he had a ton of submission wins. Lately,
yes.
He's been knocking people out. I think his last 2 have been by knockout.
Yes.
3 of his last 4, and his only 3. So have you seen an evolution in his game, or do you just think people are overlooking his hands?
Yeah, when he's fighting those righty guys, he goes to the body. If you drop your hand, he's going with the overhand. And if the hands doesn't work, you go for the takedown. He has a very, very good arsenal. I wouldn't say basic, but it's basic in terms of flashiness. He won't go for crazy stuff like I would. So, yeah, body shots, overhand, and shoot for that deep double and try to smother you with it. So it's not a style that I'm not accustomed. He said I never faced someone who hit as hard as him. I can bet $100 or $1,000 that Duo Choi hits 10 times harder than this guy. Duo Choi, I took his punch, and my whole world was shaking, and I was like, man, okay, this is a very strong man, and I never felt that power again, even though I faced some very experienced men in the UFC. So Topuria, thinking as a 135er who can have more power than Choi, I highly doubt that. Thank you.
Charles, over here. Your last fight finished on a very high note for you.
Yes.
It wasn't a finish, but you got the knockdown at the very end.
Yes.
How much did that experience really motivate you for the new year, especially when you're taking the short notice fight? You have the momentum. So how does that one knockdown that you had of Yul at the end sort of encapsulate your attitude now?
I don't want to sound cocky or anything, but for me it felt like a finish. He was down, he didn't want to get up right away, so he was a defeated man that I simply couldn't finish before the bell, and I felt it during round 2, and this is something I don't think I'm going to face in Topuria. Ewell was just surviving in there, and he was not attacking. That's why I was screaming and trying to overdo it, and when you hunt too much the knockout, you're not going to get it, and that's one error I made. So. But Topuria, I don't think he's going to back down. I think he's going to hit those kicks, and he's going to keep fighting. So that's why I'm very curious about the outcome of this fight. I'm sure he's a very, very tough man. But yeah, that's what makes this fight so interesting.
people are calling this the biggest MMA fight in France because of the main event between, a French national and Francis, who was in France. You're not French, but you are French Canadian. So how much does that motivate you, knowing that you are going to have eyeballs, of France watching you as well?
It's incredible. On Instagram and social media, you can see your statistics of your following, and a big part of my following is from France. So this is big for me. I just talked to Cyril because if you guys don't know, I was a TKO champion just like Cyril was. So we grew up in this, not grew up, but we started our career in the same promotion in Canada, and we both become champion over there. I'm not comparing myself to him. He's 10 times, if it's not 100, better than me. But no, it was good. It was good seeing him and seeing all the attraction that the European market has on this fight. Thank you. All right, thank you guys.